I'm here with the mastermind, Soren, behind Epic Fest that is taking place in Denmark, April 4th and 5th in Roskilde.
Roskilde, you got it.
All right, all right. I didn't butcher it. Good.
No, it was
I hit
fine.
the nail on the head with this one. First of all, thank you for taking the time. It's always a pleasure to see you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and it's even a bigger pleasure to give Epic Fest a platform here and let the people, because there's a lot of people in North America that know the festival. I got that vibe when we met each other at Prague Power last year, because a lot of people were talking about it. And but I feel like more people need to know about it. Because you have last year you had a crazy, actually not last year, this year you had a crazy lineup. Next year you have another crazy lineup. I feel like this festival is growing with every year. You're doing a bigger and better job with every year. And I hope that people watching this video today will be motivated to come and visit Epic Fest at some point down the line, because I don't know if it's possible. Are you sold out?
It's not sold out yet, but we're doing great. And actually, we have sold a lot of tickets for the States as well. So even more than last time. So that's perfect. It's
So that's
amazing.
good. So for the folks watching this right now, there's going to be a link in the description of the video. So there's still some tickets available. Don't sleep on it. Don't wait for Christmas. Don't wait for Valentine's Day to buy your loved one a ticket to Epic Fest. Pick up a ticket right now and go.
Yeah,
So
I mean, both years, it's like the third time this one here. And the previous years has been sold out like month in advance. So yeah.
yeah, you're going to sell out again. So and that's why I'm saying, like, don't wait too long to pick up those tickets. Pick up those tickets right away. Like, you want to make sure you get those tickets. And I want to talk about the festival from two different angles. I want to talk about the festival from the newcomer. Like I said, maybe people are watching this and they're like, hey, you know what? Never been to Denmark. I would like to go there for this festival. So I want to talk a little bit about what's the best way to get there, to for you to give an idea of how the festival is, and then we can talk about the bands as well. Because let's face the facts: for most people in North America, Denmark is Copenhagen.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's like one big country of Copenhagen.
Exactly, exactly. It's just one big country. You can call it Copenhagen, you can call it Denmark. It's all the same. Um,
Yes.
so for those attending that have never been there before, what's your advice in terms of travel plans? What would you suggest?
It's so easy. So here's the selling points. But I mean, it's very easy. It's Roskilde is like an old. That's actually the old capital of Denmark. It's an old Viking city, an old kings and queens city. One of the oldest city actually in Europe, and we're like 20 minutes away from Copenhagen, the real capital. uh, 20 minutes away from Copenhagen by train. So it's so easy. I mean, and if you have a flight, I mean, you can fly directly to Denmark. I think with SAS, or then you have to go to London or something like that to catch a flight to Denmark. It's very easy. So you basically just fly to Copenhagen, take a train from the airport to the Copenhagen Central Station, off to Roskilde, and then you're in Roskilde in under like 1 hour from getting to Denmark. So it's really easy. And Roskilde is like, I think it's the fifth biggest city in Denmark. I think so. And as I said, it's an old Viking city, and with a lot of beautiful old houses, and it's down by a big harbor. Therefore, it was good for the Vikings to settle. Um, a huge cathedral, Roskilde Cathedral, is a part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. All the old Vikings, kings and queens from the Viking Age and up until now are buried there. A lot of beautiful settings inside the cathedral. And I mean, it's easy to stay there. Lots of hotels. And since the city is not that big, it's also easy to just walk between the venues, the harbor, the cathedral, the hotels. It's a very beautiful place. It's actually a great city to have a festival like this one here, because it's so damn easy.
And I was just going to add to what you're saying. There are a bunch of direct flights. I mean, you have the option of connecting. Obviously, you can connect in London, you can connect in Iceland. But I
Yeah,
checked already from Canada and US. There's a bunch of direct flights. So if you want to fly
yeah,
directly to Copenhagen, so you don't have to worry about layovers, you can totally do that. The
yeah,
flights are pretty affordable, so there's really no reason not to get to Copenhagen. And then, like you said, you can take the train, or if you're probably planning on staying for a couple of days, maybe renting a car is also a good
yeah,
option.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
to see a little bit more of Denmark while you're there. How's the weather at that time of the year, April 4th and 5th, that time?
In general, I think it's good. It's springtime. It's a lovely time. It's I think it's like if you stay in New York, for instance, or something like that. It's I think the weather's it's okay. It's not freezing cold like in Finland or in Norway or something like that. You can, I think in maybe in April you can start wearing like a sweatshirt outside. So
Okay,
it's
that's good.
beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's good. You mentioned being a smaller town, obviously, than Copenhagen, but you also mentioned that there's a lot of hotels. So for folks
mm.
trying to go there and staying, is there any preference in terms of where the hotels are versus the venue, or is it at a small town where it doesn't really matter where you're staying, you're still going to be able to get to the venue fairly easily?
I think it's not such a small town, but there are hotels nearby. I would say in a walking distance. But there's also hotels like a bit further away where you might need a cab. Um, but in general, I think the hotels are pretty close to the venue. I mean, if you can walk like 20 minutes or half an hour, that's maybe be the furthest away if you have a walking distance. But I mean, there's beautiful hotels near the harbor where you can go down there. This place called Dan Hostel. We have a lot of yeah. If you go to our Facebook, we have some what's called you get some not for free, but we got some
Discount codes?
it's good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the word to some of the hotels. So I mean, it's also good for the tourism in general in Roskilde with a festival like this because it's a little bit out of season, I would say, in that period. But with this festival here, we generate some good tourism for the hotels, which is
Oh,
always a good thing.
I can imagine. This is the third edition, correct?
This is yeah, this coming will be the third edition. Yeah.
How did the idea come to you? Like when did you start thinking about that, this festival was needed? And second, why did you pick that city?
Yeah. So the thing is that Lauge, who's the other booker for the festival, he's running a club and he's booking a club in Roskilde called Gimle, or a venue in Roskilde, and this is where it all began. So Gimle is an old venue in Roskilde, the biggest venue in Roskilde, and they're doing shows like on a daily basis through the year. It has been there for many years now, and Lauge is the main booker, booking all sorts of music for the venue. And so him and I, we are old childhood friends from Roskilde. We've both lived there and grown as a childhood, and we've played music there, and we played in this exact venue ourselves, which is each of our own bands, of course. uh, and so when he became a booker, and I started to work in the music industry as a manager for Danish bands, we kind of knocked our head together and wanted to create something that was something that we really liked and loved about metal, and that is we are both like this heroic, fantasy inspired, big, sounding metal, which is power metal and all that epic metal stuff. So yeah, we came together, and when we got offered Blind Guardian for one show at the club, we decided to make an event out of it, and eventually that became the first year of Epic Fest.
Oh, wow. Wow. And last year, like I said, well, I keep saying last year, but it was this year. This year you had a killer lineup with Beast in Black and so many other great bands. But for 2025, you're kind of like outdoing yourself with Stradivarius, Rose, Dawn of Victory, Ross the Boss, Crimson Glory, Pagan's Mind. I mean, like Nano War of Steel. I love the guys in Nano War of Steel, by the way. I'm going to see them in a couple of weeks here in North America. They're doing a headlining run. You got Theocracy from Atlanta playing there. You actually have quite a few American
Hmm?
bands because you got Judicator, you got Glyph. Like I
Five.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you got quite a bit of North American bands. It's a very diverse lineup. And I know there's a lot of people excited about Fellowship. They're playing there as well. I mean, it's really a cool lineup. When you were putting this lineup together, how do you have a vision for what you want or what bands you want? Or it's kind of like, okay, let me see who I can get. Like, how do you put a lineup like this together?
So we're doing like a lot of we have a lot of thoughts going on, and we talk a lot together, and we yeah share our vision for the different names. Obviously we need some of the blockbusters, and we're talking a lot about what kind of blockbusters we is it possible to present in, because we're still on an early state of this festival here. So we got some great contacts with some of the great agents in Europe and in America, and luckily they share our the same vision as us to create like this epic fantasy experience for the audience, and we can feel that the bands like to be here and they want to be presented at the festival. So that's a good start. um, so for this year, oh sorry again, next year, we picked Stradivarius as the big gun because they did a fantastic new album. It was pretty simple, and they had a great tour. They came to Roskilde on the latest tour, did a fantastic show, and the new album was great. So that's kind of like the legacy band, and then we really want to present a new band as well as a headliner. The cool thing I think with the power metal scene in general right now is that there's a lot of new bands evolving on the scene. So a band like Windrose, they attract a lot of young people as well. So that's it's important to present the next generation of headliners, and we did the same with Gloryhammer and Beast in Black and Ordnogan this year. So for us to present Windrose, it seems like a natural step for us and for the band as the new headliners. Then of course, Fabio Leone is like a legacy band. Of course, he's well known, and it's going to be amazing to hear all the Rhapsody songs. Same with Ross the Boss. He's only playing Manowar songs, so it's gonna be cool. Beers and Manowar, it's always great. Then something like Crimson Glory suddenly showed up, and they haven't played live for many years. They've never played in Denmark. So when I figured out that they were actually playing at the Keep It True festival, I immediately wrote to Ben Jackson, the guitarist, to just ask if they wanted to play some more shows, and luckily they wanted to do it. So and then as you said, we have the American bands. It's also important for us to present some bands that doesn't normally play here or in Europe in general. I mean, Judicator is the first time they play in Europe. It's going to be at Epic Fest, and the same with Glyph and with Shadow Strike. It's the first time ever they play in Europe, and Theocracy is the first time ever in Denmark. So we want to present something that people in Denmark or in Europe normally doesn't see.
Yeah, no, those are massive selling points. I actually saw Judicator at the Mile High Power Fest in
Yeah,
Denver. I met the guys there and I saw them performing there. And there's a lot of young, up and coming, especially in North America. The power metal, epic metal scene here seems to be like just exploding. Uh,
yeah,
and that festival for me was like an eye opener for a lot of these bands that I didn't even know they existed, but with tons of quality,
yeah.
just really a lot of quality. And there's also you also have a UK. I don't know if they're the only UK band, but you have Battleborn, um,
Yeah, Fellowship is UK based as
Fellowship
well.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Battleborn, they kick ass.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I mean their albums are great. It's really punch in the face.
Yeah,
It's super
it
cool.
has a
Yeah,
little bit of a Manowar vibe to it,
yeah,
but with a little bit more speed metal at the same time.
yes,
Like to me, they're such an outstanding band, and I think it's one of those that a lot of people won't know who they are, but once
yeah,
you see them, I think you're gonna love them.
Yeah, I mean, and their album is produced by Sebastian from Orton Ogan, and he's doing a great job as well. It's super super cool. It's a really cool band. The same, I mean, we had Fellowship last this year in January, and they played the small venue at the festival, and they completely packed the venue. So, and you know, with a new album coming, they had to come back again.
Yeah, yeah, and
Super
you
cool.
you have Majestica as well.
Yeah,
And now Tommy is focusing his time 100% on Majestica since he's
yeah,
his departure from Sabaton. And I think there's
exactly.
two bands on this lineup that I thought were really interesting, and that is Yotun. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
And I've been butchering it, but somebody told me that I've been pronouncing it wrong. And the other one is Pagan's Mind. Bands that I know in North America are starting to. Pagan's Mind has a huge following in North America,
yeah,
but Yotun is breaking some new grounds, and people are paying attention to them. Uh, those feel almost a little bit more outside the box when you think about Windrose, when you think about Ross the Boss, Crimson Glory. So,
yeah,
what's your thought process with bands like that are not necessarily super epic, a little bit more
yeah,
proggy, if you will?
yeah. Yeah, but actually, I think in general the terms are the sound is still epic. It's not like it's not like more power metal or fantasy inspired. They're more like, you know, just writing some really really amazing songs that sounds epic and it sounds heavy at the same time. I mean, listening to the previous Jotun album, it's just a massive sound, you know, and the two new singles are also amazing. And I mean, Jon, the lead singer, he has this operatic, this very bombastic sound, which is completely down our alley with Epic Fest. So even though it's not directly power metal, it is epic metal. I
No,
would say.
their music
Yeah,
is definitely epic. The sound that they
yeah,
create, they create this almost like larger than life experience with their music, and I think the people attending are really going to enjoy that because it also gives you a chance to kind of reset a little bit, so you're not getting this
exactly.
sounds band after band, you know.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, you can go to the Nanowar of Steel or Majestica show and get some high pitch, funny vocals, and then you could go to Jotun to have like, oh, there's some growls here. It's okay now.
Induction is
Because
also on the bill. I really love the guys
yeah,
from Induction. I think they're also like an outstanding band. It's a really cool lineup, and I think you're creating a very interesting dynamic here. So I'm assuming Stradivarius will be the headliner for day one, when Rose for
yeah.
day two. Is that how it's going to go?
Uh, we're not really sure yet. It's all about the planning. There's still some time to go. So on which day they're playing, it's not 100% settled yet. But it will be announced within a yeah reasonable time. Yeah.
Do you plan on announcing the lineup for both days like in advance, or are you going to leave it closer to the actual kickoff of the festival?
Uh, I mean, for the past 2 years, we have left it a bit closer to the festival. I think we're gonna do it like it's gonna be on the other side of New Year. I
Okay.
would say before we announce it.
But those are
Yeah,
the two headliners, basically. It's
yeah,
just a matter of,
there will not be any more bands coming. This is the
yeah. So
final
it's
like
either one is on one day or one is on the other, but you're gonna get those.
exactly.
So should people
Yes.
bring some shovels so they can dig some holes, or is that not allowed?
I'm not sure about the shovels though, but you're more than allowed to bring drinking horns and maybe if you have some yeah some shovels or some in where you can blow, you know, it's they. I was at the 70 tons of metal cruise in January, and people brought all different kind of funny stuff for the Windrose show. That was amazing. It was a big party and I can't wait to see the party at the in Roskilde next year. It's gonna be good fun.
They definitely put Epic into Epic Fest.
Yes.
I've seen them live in three different settings. So I've seen them live at an outdoor big festival in Europe. I've seen
Yeah,
them at a small club. Um, uh, I can't remember who they were opening for. I think it was Rhapsody of Fire that they were opening for.
that's right.
And then I've seen
Yeah.
them as a headliner in North America at a bigger club. It doesn't matter which one it was. The people went nuts. like it's such a party. It's
Yeah,
so much fun. Like it's such an experience. They're one of those bands that just knows how to make things exciting and fun
yeah,
and epic.
yeah. And I mean, if you have some good Danish beers and some Winrows, I mean, what else do you want?
Some
It's
Tuborg.
yeah, Tuborg. Yeah, yeah, we'll have Tuborg and also some special beers as well, only for the festival. Yeah.
Yeah, like so it all goes together. Ross the Boss playing some Manowar, that's always a lot of fun. I've seen him a bunch of times.
Mm.
He has a great lineup.
Then I want to also point out, like, I don't know if you know them, Royal Hunt.
No,
It's
that one I saw in the bill.
Yeah,
They're doing a special performance.
yeah. They have like this Paradox special, which is their album from 1997. They're from Denmark, and but they're not that famous in Denmark. In general, they're not that famous, which is a bummer because it's a really really cool band. And both Lauke and I think that Paradox is might be their key album. And we asked them if they wanted to play it, and they're doing it. They did it at Rock Power for many years ago, the same album, but it's a long time ago, and now it's time to freshen up that album again.
I didn't see if you booked your. Did you book your band on this bill? You didn't.
No, 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 my own band.
Yeah. Like why didn't
So
like why like what are you doing? Like you need to book your own.
yeah,
That should be
you.
the first one you book is yourself.
I mean, there's a couple of reasons for that. I mean, the key reason is that I'm simply too busy, and if I'm also going to play and think about going to play, I think it will maybe faint or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, there's so many great bands there out there, and
Yeah, but
yeah,
you guys are really good. You guys are really good. Really good. Like you have an outstanding vocalist, and you guys are a really good band. Really good band. And I think you're doing everybody a disservice. I know it's tough for you because you're the organizer and you have to run around. I know it's busy and hectic, but
yeah,
you have to find a way of booking your band to play.
yeah. Thanks. I mean, perhaps in 2 years, maybe could be.
Yeah, maybe 2026.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you
I
know
mean,
what?
we're already starting to plan 26 already. So let's see where
You,
where it
you,
goes.
we need to get you guys to Prog Power in 2026.
Yeah, that could be cool. I mean, us and Jotun for Prog Power, that could be amazing.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be really cool. And I think the crowd there would absolutely love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only Danish band who has played Prog Power in the recent years is Vola.
Hmm. And they're coming back for 20
They're coming back.
25.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
played there the year that we were there. They were there
exactly.
in
Yep.
2024, and they're coming back now for 2025. I'm getting all my ears crossed.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it's
they
cool.
have a huge popularity in North America.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Great band as well. Great
Yeah,
band.
no,
It
but you
was a
you guys you guys need to start pushing it and since you're having your own maybe start. By the way, do you have any plans to expand beyond 2 days and maybe do like a smaller first day and then have the two big days? Like, are you thinking about any of that?
So the thing is that for now we're gonna stick with 2 days. We have evolved in another way, which is the venue capacity. So the first year in 2023, sorry, it was only at the Gimle, the venue in Roskilde, and that's only like a 550 club. So that was it. And we had 2 days, two bands the first day and four bands the other day, only in that club, and it sold out really quick. So the year after, this year, we had the festival in January, and it was at Gimle again, but then it was only like the small stage, and then at a place we called King Roas Hall, which is basically the Roskilde Congress Center, which is like a 7 minutes walk from the venue, from Gimle to the Congress Center. So we have two stages now, the main stage out in the Congress Center and at Gimle, the small stage. And so for next year, we're going to have a third stage, which will be the main stage, also in the Congress Center. So there's like several halls in the Congress Center, and the stage we used this year is going to be like the medium-sized stage. And then we're going to have the big one in another hall in the Congress Center, and then we're using Gimlet for the small names, the newcomers. So that's how we have evolved like these 3 years here. So
That is a really cool setup. So,
expansive. Yeah.
so how do you organize it in a way? Are bands playing simultaneously, or are you organizing it in a way that people can like walk from one to the other and check out all the bands?
Because of the limited capacity, we need to have some bands playing at the same time. And also because we have so many bands, we're gonna have some bands playing at the same time. For the past 2 years, no bands played at the same time, but there was also a capacity limit at Gimlet. But with this year, we're gonna have like the second stage and the smaller stage playing almost simultaneously, and then the headliners, the big names in the big hall, will play on them on their own. Right? There's no bands colliding with the headliners or the bigger
Oh
bands.
wow.
Yeah,
I like that. That's really cool. It's you're almost bringing an outdoor large size festival feel, but to an
into it.
indoor
Yeah,
perspective.
that's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah,
That
and
is
then we're
really
doing like
cool.
yeah, and then we're doing like a lot of fantasy stuff, a lot of fantasy elements, side shows and stuff like that to the festival as well. So it's not
Do
only
people
just about.
do
Sorry.
people dress up a lot?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
people get into
Bring
character?
into characters, elf ears, and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have like a Dungeons and Dragons tournament and Legend of Zelda gamings and all that
Oh
shit. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So it's all about fantasy, and that's what we want to create. We want to create like a universe where people who are into fantasy, who are into role playing, who are into metal can unite and find peace, in a weekend for themselves. I mean, what we want to create is like a universe where you, as a role player or a nerd, can be yourself for a weekend, and that's I mean that's the key element for our festival.
And
Uh,
I love this shit because you got the shows, right? You got these two venues happening with three different stages, so people can choose where they want to go to see who they want to see. You can
yeah,
completely immerse yourself in the whole epicness of of
yeah,
of role playing, Dungeons and Dragons, all of it. I mean, there's going to be so much shit for people to do, so much stuff for people to get really into that it really feels like an all-encompassing weekend. It's not just about the metal, it's not just about the bands, it's really about having a very different kind of weekend in Denmark.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, if you're into playing and fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings, etc., uh, this is like, yeah, one of the key elements to the festival that you need to see and be a part of, I think. And then you can go and listen to Winrose, in the evening.
Yeah,
It's
what's the chances of somebody that attending the festival meeting Gandalf?
There's a big opportunity. I mean, we have a big wizard. We have a big wizard book last year in the main area of the festival, where people could, come and write, like a little greeting or something like that. And it was there during the. It was also like an experiment for us to see. Okay, if we put like a big beautiful wizard book covered in leather and a lot of beautiful pieces, put it on a table during the whole festival without any lockers or anything, could it actually be there for the whole festival? And it was there during the whole. It wasn't stolen or anything. So it was also like, I mean, our audience are amazing. So it was beautiful. I mean, people were so happy and they enjoyed it all together, and they came together as one big family full of role players and nerds for the weekend. I mean, it's one of those I've missed. Like, if I had a festival like this, I would go to it immediately, because that's what I want, and that's what I like to do. Listening to metal and playing Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
That's
I love both as well. I'm down with that. I got one last question for you, and that's always the very important question about food.
yeah,
So, because we already covered the drinks, people are gonna have some Tuborgs and
yeah,
whatnot. But what about food? Is there places nearby the venues, or there's food inside the venues? How does it work?
So we have just around the corner for Gimle, the venue. There's like we have a place called the Raven Tavern, which is the cafe of Gimle, and you can for the past 2 years, there was you were able to buy food and drinks in that cafe. We have like this fantasy menu with all different kind of potions and stuff like that going on, and a lot of you know stews and stuff like that where you can get your food. But else, it's we basically just recommending. I mean, we're a city festival, and there's cafes and restaurants close by. So I mean, for us, it's we're more focusing on creating like this big atmosphere, and then we're gonna recommend people buying their food and stuff like that at the nearby restaurants and cafes.
Well, like you said earlier, it's really about also helping promote the city and the economy in the city. So I think you guys, by doing that, are definitely going to achieve that aspect as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's the plan for sure. Yeah.
Any recommendations, like for somebody like me who's never been there? What's Denmark's? What is the dish that I have to have if I visit Denmark?
So we have something called stegt flæsk med persillesauce, and that is basically big chunks of bacon with potatoes and some great sauce. That's kind of like one of our national dishes. And then we got something called frikadeller, which is small meatballs, like like the ones you see in Sweden, but they're like roasted on a pan, and yeah, and with also with potatoes. You eat a lot of potatoes in Denmark and a lot of pork.
I'm good with both.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good for me. I'm not gonna go hungry, that's for sure.
Oh
Uh,
no, 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 no. You won't do that in Denmark.
Soren, thank you very much for your time today. I know you're busy. You're in Norway right now for business, for work. Thank you for taking the time. I'm gonna put all the links, everything in the description of the video, your Facebook page, your Instagram, the links to purchase tickets. I would be thrilled if I see the festival sold out by Christmas. I think that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I think that will be amazing. And I really want to stress it out that you guys have sold out every year. So I expect the festival to be sold out again. So do not wait too long to purchase your tickets to attend. And I think you're going to have another great festival on your hands. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'll see you in Denmark.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. Let's have
I
a
know.
great time.
I'm so excited. I'm
You're gonna
planning.
have elf ears.
I don't know about that, but I'm thinking about bringing some. I'm thinking about bringing some hair,
Yeah,
hair with Viking horns and shit like that, because I
yeah.
want to get into the spirit.
You should. I mean, in every tourist store in Copenhagen, you can buy, Viking horns and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to see that.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to see that. And like what I'm telling people is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm planning already, like the trip, the flights, and all of that stuff. I'm actually also checking, because I'm a big football fan. So I'm checking to see if Copenhagen is playing at home that weekend, because I would love
Yeah.
to go catch one of their games while I'm there. And I think that's one thing that I really want to stress to people. The festival is a Friday and Saturday. Come a couple of days earlier, enjoy Roskilde, enjoy the city, enjoy everything the city has to offer, and then spend a few days in Copenhagen afterwards and enjoy what that city has to offer. Make it more of a
We have,
tourist destination.
yeah, I mean, we have the oldest amusement park in the world, one of the oldest amusement parks in the world, Tivoli, it's called. I mean, I think Walt Disney was inspired. He came to Copenhagen to that amusement park when he wanted to create Disneyland.
Oh my.
So, and it's right in the center of Copenhagen. It's just like 2 seconds away from the central station. So that's definitely recommended.
Yeah, yeah. So I honestly feel like come for the festival and then stay for the culture. So that's I think what people should do, make a little bit of a vacation out of it, come for a couple of extra days. I mean, you're going to fly there anyways, you might as well stay for a couple of extra days. And one of the things that I found for those watching the video, just to give them a little bit of a helping hand, unfortunately, there's no direct flights on Sunday to North America. So another reason for you to stay a couple of extra days, Fly out on
Yep.
Monday, fly out on Tuesday, because during the week, Monday to Friday, there's direct flights, just not on the
Mm.
weekend. So don't think of leaving immediately the day after.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been digging a hole too, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get out of the hole. So you need a couple of extra days, and yeah, exactly that kind of a hole. And stay, like, come for the festival, stay for the culture, and dude, I'm so looking forward to seeing you there. It's going to be fun times.
It really does. I mean, I can't wait. And yeah, and thank you for taking this time to talking with me. It's been a pleasure.
No, my pleasure, my pleasure. And I also I'm gonna be doing a lot of interviews while we're there, so we'll have a lot of information post festival to for those that don't attend can see all the greatness and maybe come back or come to the festival in 2026. And for those that attended, they can relive a little bit of what the festival was all about. So we'll have a lot of coverage for Epic Fest leading up to the festival and then post festival as well. So for those that are regular viewers of our channel, there's going to be a lot of epicness between now
A
and
lot of
April 4th
fantasy,
and 5th. A lot of fantasy between 4th
a lot
and
of
5th.
fantasy and adventure,
Yeah, so for
adventure
sure.
time in Denmark.
Adventure time in Denmark. Exactly. I love it. Soren, thank you very much for your time. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon, man. Talk soon. Bye.